So at the time of recording this, Marvel just finished their Hall H presentation at San Diego Comic-Con, announcing more of what's coming in the MCU Phase 5 and Phase 6. Yesterday, they did their animation stuff, so I don't know when this comes out, but just so you know, like, that's just happened. And so what I have with me here today is a list of everything they've announced. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Welcome back to Nerd List. And today we are going to be ranking, based on my personal hype levels, all of the things that Marvel has announced at San Diego Comic-Con. And we're going to get right into it. Right before we do, make sure you go hit the subscribe button, leave a thumbs up, let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree or whatever you want to do down below. But let's get into it. All right, as another disclaimer, getting into it now, you can see all of the shows and stuff lined up here. This is completely unscripted, blind, whatever you want to call it. Like, obviously I know about each project, but this is, I've not pre-prepared this, so this is all completely blind. We're gonna go one at a time and just hit this. I already know kind of what I want in the S tier for some stuff, but like, you know, Agatha, now called, instead of House of Harkness, we have Agatha Coven of Chaos. Now this one I have absolutely no idea where they'll go with it. Pre-warning here, I'm going to spoil everything I've seen. So up to the latest thing that just came out was Ms. Marvel and Thor Love and Thunder. So I'm going to, if it becomes relevant to the conversation here, I will be spoiling it, just so you know. All right, so Agatha at the end of WandaVision is trapped in Eastview, Westview, Westbrook, I forget the name of it off the top of my head right now, as just kind of mind controlled into a normal person. I don't know if there's going to be a prequel. I don't know if this is going to be what happens past that. I don't know how this will matter at the MCU, but I love Catherine Hahn, and she was a great character in the show. There seems to be an interesting backstory with that because of like the coven it shows during WandaVision. My brain is giving me C plus B vibes. I'm gonna go B, and I might change that one later, but right now Agatha Coven of Chaos is sitting at a B. Next we have Blade, and for me, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and warn you, this tier list will probably annoy a lot of you because I'm very hyped about a lot of projects. For me, Blade is an S tier hype levels. Okay, I think the casting so far of everything I've seen is perfect. I think the casting rumors that I've heard so far are perfect. I think that it's going to be awesome to see Blade done right. I know there's a lot of fans of the Wesley Snipes version of Blade, and like, you know, it was kind of the first like Marvel hit and all this kind of stuff. I'm excited to see my boy do it right. I'm excited to see what kind of storylines are going to get into, because they have also kind of leaked, I don't know if it's 100% true, that they have trademarked Midnight Suns, and we did hear his voice at the end of Eternals talking to Dane Whitman. So this one's S tier. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with my boy Blade and how they're going to let it be in the future. Next we have Captain America: The New World Order. This one is an A for me because I am excited to see Sam Wilson as Captain America beyond what we saw at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm super excited for him as Captain America, and I want to see, I don't know if he's going to be in any projects before then. I don't know how they're going to play this out, but ever since the end of that show, I've wanted to see how he's going to be as Captain America. That show opened up a lot of cool journeys and trials and stuff that he's going to have to face as Captain America, and I want to see it happen. So plus the potential that it could be one of those secret Avengers films. Later on, we're going to talk about 2 Avengers movies that they named, and the fact that there's not really an Avengers team right now, like it's kind of all disbanded, means to me that somewhere in this mix, there's got to be a secret Avengers movie, kind of like what Civil War was, where there's a bunch of Avengers characters, basically. So I wonder if this is going to be that, if they're going to keep that still hiding in the Captain America mantle. We'll see, but I'm excited for this one. Next up, we have Daredevil Born Again. Charlie Cox coming to the MCU officially. I know he was in No Way Home. I get it. But officially as Daredevil, he's going to show up in She-Hulk we just saw today. He's going to be in Echo, but his own series that is also 18 episodes is absolutely magic. Ever since the end of the Netflix, this is what I've been waiting for, right? And it was cool to see, you know, him show up in No Way Home. It was cool to see Vincent D'Onofrio show up in the Hawkeye series. I am ready for there's no way. Okay, the biggest complaint about a lot of the D plus shows that I've had thus far is that they shouldn't be 6 episodes. They should probably be 8 to 10. They always feel like they're rushed at the end. You're giving me 18 episodes of my boy. Like, Charlie Cox is a perfect casting as Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio is a perfect Kingpin. I know people had a problem with Kingpin at the end of the Hawkeye series, but it makes sense to me and like what it is. We also have a theory that he's like kind of that head person that Sharon Carter's reporting to and selling the serum to and stuff, that he's taken some of the serum. We'll see, but I'm excited for this one. And then we have Echo. Now for Echo, this kind of hurts me a little bit. I'm putting it in a B tier because the way that they've developed Echo in the MCU so far is basically not at all. She gets a little bit of her setup in Hawkeye and stuff. To me, this feels like it's probably going to be a secret prequel to Daredevil and Kingpin's role in the MCU, as well as the Born Again series, because they're both confirmed to be in this series. And obviously Echo has a relationship, like a father-daughter relationship kind of deal with Wilson Fisk in the comics, and like how it ended with Hawkeye and stuff. So I'm excited, but however, the character they haven't done a ton with. So it's kind of like Agatha. I don't know where they're going to go. I don't know what they're going to do with Echo to make her special, it not just being like a Daredevil prequel. So Fantastic Four. Okay, this one's hard for me. My brain and my heart says, bro, this is S tier. I want to see who the casting is. We saw John Krasinski as Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness, and I was a fan. I've loved that casting for a while. I don't know that they're going to go with it, but we saw it. But also, one of my most hated Marvel characters is Ben Grimm the Thing. Every time I read a Fantastic Four story, the best thing for me for Ben Grimm has ever been is in 2015 Secret Wars, when he was literally a wall. That was cool because I didn't have to hear about him very much. He was just a wall, right? I don't know what it is. I can't get around the sheer goofiness of it. And I know there's a lot of goofy things in Marvel, and I think he's really hard to bring to real life, or to live action, and him not feel like either a Hulk copy or kind of silly. And I'm excited for Reed Richards. I'm excited for Sue Storm. I'm excited for Johnny Storm. I'm not excited for the Thing, Ben Grimm. But I'm excited to see how they handle it. So I'm gonna put it at A+. Okay, don't kill me, Marvel's first family. I want to put it S tier, but the Thing, I literally hate the Thing that much. Like, I do not enjoy him. So there we go. I Am Groot. It's gonna be like a short little series, and it's just for fun. I doubt it has any implications on anything, but it's super cute, and I'm about it. I'm gonna put I Am Groot at A. I'm gonna put I Am Groot at B. B is good. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun romp. It could be an A. It's kind of like a B+, but it's not gonna have like any impact on what's going forward. It's just gonna be a fun little thing. It's Marvel's Baby Yoda. It's, you know, which is whatever, right? Which obviously I think he was around first. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, so I'm not saying a copy of it, but anyway, like, you know, it's just is what it is. It's just gonna be a fun little short, kind of, you know, it is what it is. So Guardians of the Galaxy 3, this one gets an A ranking for me for a few reasons. One, James Gunn today was talking about it, how it is the end of the Guardians era in the MCU. So we're something team ending, which we've already been pretty much led to believe a bunch of deaths is going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen to the characters that remain. They are introducing Adam Warlock, which is kind of weird because it's past the Infinity Saga, so I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he'll be more Magnus than I don't know. Will Poulter's a cool casting. We'll see. I know they're going to have the High Evolutionary. There's a bunch of interest in this to see how they wrap up the Guardians, because the Guardians has always just been fun and good at evoking random bouts of massive emotion. So I'm gonna give it an A, not an S, but we'll give it an A. Next up on the list, we have Ironheart. And for me personally, God, this list is gonna be really top heavy. Ironheart gets an A because I've been looking forward to the series ever since we heard about it after the death of Tony Stark. Because as much as I love Don Cheadle and I love the War Machine, then Marvel has never allowed him to develop into a leader or even what feels like a solo character. I know he's gonna be in Secret Invasion. Armor Wars did not appear on the timeline anymore. We saw today at Comic-Con, so don't know what's going on with that one. And I've been excited for an Iron Person to be back. I miss Tony. And then the fact that it's Riri Williams, and I love what they've done with her in comics, and the fact that she's from Wakanda now, and like, you know, that we saw in the Wakanda Forever trailer, her pal in the heart out of the sheet metal for the armor and stuff. Very excited. A tier. I am ready to see what they're going to do with it. I hope she just takes the mantle of the new Iron Person for the MCU, the new Tony Stark, and just freaking obliterates it. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm ready, man. It's good. So then we have the first Avengers movie listed here on our tier list, and that is Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. And you better believe this is absolutely an S tier. Not only is this coupled with the other one basically going to be our next Infinity War and Endgame duo type deal, but the Kang Dynasty, which means we are leading up from Loki. Kang is the major piece, right? That's going to go through. Second, it's labeled an Avengers movie. Currently, what we talked about before, there's not an Avengers team, right? So that means somewhere there's going to be a secret one, like we talked about with the Captain America one. So this is going to be the culmination of that team and really get into it. And we're going to get to the big epic stories that we all loved with Infinity War and Endgame. If this one wasn't S tier hype, I don't know what else is. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it and just listen. I could draw this out, But dude, obviously Secret Wars is coming up to the S tier as well. Secret Wars is already an amazing story for the 80s version and the 2015 version. I don't think they're going to really go specifically with either. I think they'll leave more towards the first one than the 2015 one, because the 2015 one, if you really boil it down, is kind of a story about Reed Richards and Doctor Doom more than just like the end of the multiverse type deal. But you're gonna have this multiversal conflict. Obviously Kang was involved, the Kang dynasty, in the first Avengers movie. I think he's gonna be the problem in the calls for the next for the incursions that really lead to kind of a 2015 style deal for Secret Wars. But I'm hoping that he's actually going to duo with Doctor Doom, and there's a whole thing with that I could get into that I'm not going to here. But I'm very excited to see what they do with this. And obviously this is the end of the multiverse saga, is what they've now said. It's the end of phase 6. These are both phase 6 movies. This is way out there, 2025, maybe pushed back depending on what happens in life, right? But like we've got these out here. These are the end of the saga we just started. We're just getting to the end of phase 4, which was just reactionary to both the multiverse breaking and Endgame. And like, it's just been a meddling phase. And now we're going to get into advancing story, right? And this is going to be the culmination of that. So this is going to be obviously S tier hypes, dude. Come on, man. Loki Season 2. Dude, this list, I'm going to get called a fan. It's fine. I'm a fanboy. Get it? Loki Season 2 is also an S tier because I ranked it as an S tier of my favorite. Oh, spoiler alert for another tier list. I ranked it as one of the S tiers in my favorite MCU shows list. I think it literally has set up Loki Season 1 literally is the reason we are where we are today, right? The multiverse breaking, the killing of Kang, it set the events in motion. Obviously people love Loki. Obviously people love the story and the feels. The TVA was cool. The new characters they introduced, like Owen Wilson, like all that was really good. I want to see where they go with it, right? Like, what do you do next? Like, you were the show that basically defined the direction of an entire era, of an entire phase. What's next? So obviously my intrigue alone puts it at S tier. Marvel Zombies, here we go. Marvel Zombies is a C tier for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not against the animation. I know my other tier list, I also ranked the animated stuff low, so I apologize. I'm not against the animation, right? What interests me about this one, it is the first Marvel animated property that is going to be rated TV mature. That means they're probably going to go more with the source material stuff, with all the blood, the guts, the gore, the eating, the all that kind of stuff, the cursing and all that. I'm excited to see what they do with it. However, if the pacing is like the pacing of What If Season 1, this is not going to be my favorite. It'll be like kind of like where I was with Groot, right? Like, this will be cool, but like, I don't know, it just is a thing, right? So this could potentially be a D tier. We'll see. I don't know. Like, I'm hopeful. It's a very non-canon or multiverse extra universe type deal, but we'll see where it goes. Then we have Ant-Man Quantumania. I'm going to put this one at A tier. I would love to put this one at S tier. I love Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd, Scott Lang, even the Wasp, and I love Evangeline's portrayal of, all this kind of stuff, right? And they're introducing Cassie Lang. We saw the art for it as the third ant family. They're making an ant family, I guess. And Kang is like, the major part of it. He's on the poster, right? Like, they've even said like, I think this is our first Kang the Conqueror appearance, because I think all the Kang, obviously the Kang we saw in Loki was different. So it should be S tier. However, I look at what's in the S tier right now, and I don't know that I can say I'm as equally as excited. I should, because it's almost adjacent to Loki, right? I don't know. It's gonna set everything up, but I don't feel like they're gonna let Kang really do anything, if I'm being honest. I don't think like he'll be there and he'll cause trouble or whatever, and it's going to be in the quantum realm more. I get all that, but I don't think it's going to have like, we'll see, hopefully I'm wrong. I don't think it'll have anything crazy. It's just like, okay, we're getting Kang on the board, right? It's just his piece being moved onto the board. I would love to put it at S tier. I just don't know what they're going to do with it, and I know the consequences are probably going to be minimal / non-lasting, but I'm excited to see Jonathan Majors really get that Kang the Conqueror in there. I'm hoping this one comes out S tier. I'm putting it at an A. I am pretty excited, but I don't know if I'm as excited as these ones up here. Next, we have Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion, I think, also gets an A tier. Secret Invasion worries me a little bit. It's a B+. I can't just put it here. Like, actually, the Secret Invasion gets a B+, okay? Because I'm excited for it. It has potential to be cool, but like, I don't know what they're gonna do in not a good way. Because in comics and stuff, we have the secret, that kind of thing is about the Skrull. They've infiltrated, they've killed and taken people, they've replaced them, all this kind of stuff. And obviously, we're probably gonna get some semblance of that. But in the MCU, currently, our view of them, because of Ms. Marvel, is the Kree are the bad guys, and the Skrull are kind of good guys slash like refugee type alien stuff going on. So are we gonna make them the bad guys now, or were they always bad guys? Are we gonna have any major revelations as far as a major character or hero was, you know, like taken and replaced, and that's gonna have ramifications? Is it all gonna be kind of null and void, and it's just gonna be like, oh, we did it, we fixed it? I don't know. It has a great cast. You know, Samuel Colby Smulders is coming back. You know, we've got Emilia Clarke and a bunch of other cool people signed on. Just don't know what we're gonna do with it. So I'm putting it a B+. I'm intrigued, but I'm ready for it to go either way. She-Hulk, I think, also can probably go in the B tier. The newest trailer has me more convinced. The older trailers, obviously, everyone complained about the CG. They were cut weird and all this kind of stuff. The show does describe itself as Marvel's first like 30-minute TV comedy type deal, but it is going to be the first appearance of Daredevil. And this edit, at least in the footage they showed, made me way more hopeful about what's going to be going on. I want it to be meaningful in a way that, like, okay, is She-Hulk coming to the larger story that we're getting ready for? Right now we have the larger vision. Is that, like, are people coming to that, right? So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be funny. I think it'll have a lot of like fourth wall breaking moments. We'll see. I'm putting it at a B tier. Then we have Spider-Man freshman year. Oh God, I'm gonna get called an animation hater. I'm gonna put Spider-Man at C tier. There's a lot of confusion with it right now because I think Marvel said like this stuff's supposed to be canon, but then like they've shown Norman Osborn's going to be his mentor instead of Tony Stark. Daredevil will be in the series. Daredevil just got introduced to the MCU. You know, Peter, where we're at in the MCU at No Way Home, you know, is applying for college. He's done with high school, so we're back in freshman year. So these characters have been around. I'm curious to see how they're going to play with that, or if it's non-canon. You know, I don't know. Kind of just, it's kind of one of those ones that like I'll watch it and I don't know where I'm gonna. I don't know if I like it. I like it. If I don't, I don't. But it's not gonna impact me a lot either way. So then we have the Marvels, also a B tier, because Captain Marvel's like her show, like she was hardcore and awesome in Endgame, right? Like that was really good. Like, and showing up like in her own movie was, I don't know, like maybe this way it's shot and directed. I wasn't like, it was good, but it wasn't like amazing. Not sure how I feel about Brie Larson in the casting still. Nothing against her as a human being. I don't know, just something always seems off and I haven't really put my finger on it yet. But I am very excited for like Pulsar or one of the other many names that they've given. Is Rambo. I don't remember her first name. Monica Rambeau. I'm excited to see what they do with her. The Ms. Marvel series was not my favorite. I love what they did like with representation, and I love what they did with the culture, and I loved the beginning few episodes, and I liked the last episode. I hate the CG on her powers. I still wish they had just gone with regular and biggin and not done the weird crystalline. I think they've made her more like I think it's a mutant named Armor or something like that. I have to look it up, but they kind of borrowed powers from a different character and applied it to Ms. Marvel. I think I've heard her powers are going to undergo changes in this movie, so I'm excited to see where they go. But like, I'm not, two of the three characters that have been confirmed as like the main characters, I'm still on the fence on. I would love to love Captain Marvel, because in most media I love Captain Marvel, but not in the MCU too much. She hasn't done too much. I mean, Endgame, she was absolutely cool, but we'll see. We'll see. That's all. We'll see. That's all I got. Then we have the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts for me is an A tier because it feels inconsistent with what I've said so far, but this has the potential to be wild. It's basically, I don't want to say it's our Suicide Squad, but it's the like anti-hero gray area, the people basically making their Avengers team, right? Unfortunately, the guy who played William Hurt, who played Thaddeus, Thunderbolt Ross, has passed away in real life. So we don't have Red Hulk involved, which I'm used to seeing as being a part of, or in any some kind of capacity, as the Thunderbolts. But we do have US Agent on the table. Yelena is on the table. I would even think that maybe Bucky might kind of be on that table. Like, I don't know who's gonna Zemo, I think, might lead it, right? I'm excited to see what they do with it, and it's going to be one of those things that I'm really hoping it's capping off phase 5. So I'm really hoping they set up something really cool with it. I have high hopes for this one, just because it's kind of a little bit different than what the MCU's done so far. So it's an A tier for me. Wakanda Forever, you are actually smoking drugs if you are not. If this is S tier, bro. I want to know who the new Panther is. We saw the footage. I'm curious, like, you know, rest in peace, you know, Chadwick. It was very emotional to see his mural in the trailer, but I want to see how in universe they explain T'Challa's death, right? We have Namor the Mariner who showed in, like, I like that kind of that almost Aztec theme they've added to the Atlanteans. That stuff is cool. They show the Panther and it's the gold suit, so like, who's it going to be? And I think it right now, going on record thinking it's Nakia, right? But like, it could be Okoye, it could be Shuri, it could be M'Baku, it could be a multitude of people. I'm rooting for Nakia. We'll see. But people are also saying maybe it's Killmonger come back from the grave, or resurrected, or multiverse, because it's the gold stuff. I don't know. All I'm excited to see is, like, obviously the first one was S tier. I'm excited to see how they explain kind of the story moving forward, how they honor that legacy, and how they're going to move forward with the Black Panther side of the story. So S tier by far. And that trailer was one of the best trailers Marvel's ever released. Mark my words here. What If Season 2? It gets a D for me. I feel bad because all the animation's down here, but like, I wasn't a huge fan. Like, the pacing in the first one was terrible, I'll say it. And obviously it's not supposed to be great. Like, it's just kind of telling short stories. And there were some good episodes, especially the Doctor Strange one, right? I'm not super excited, but I'll watch it. I really don't have much to say about this one. Then we have, finally, X-Men 97 is going at an A tier for me. I loved X-Men series that ended in 96. You know, obviously grew up with that. It was fantastic and one of my favorite things to watch. And so we're getting a direct continuation with the same people, like as far as like making the show in this. And I've heard that it might have MCU connections. Maybe we'll start to see some kind of blueprint emerge. We already have had mutant mentions. We've had mutant references. And then in Ms. Marvel, she is a mutant, not an Inhuman. So she's technically the MCU's first mutant. I'm ready to see the MCU. And then we've also had Charles Xavier. I guess you know, but he was alternate Earth. Though I'm excited to see the official MCU 616 castings, and hopefully this will start to lead us in that direction. We'll see. Probably not. If not, it's just gonna be super fun anyway because I love the show. Nostalgia hits like a truck, so X-Men 97 is an A tier for me. And that is my definitive listing of things that I am hyped from the Marvel announcements at San Diego Comic-Con. Let me know what you think. If you agree, disagree, what you're super hyped for. What is the one thing you were the most hyped for in this listing? Let me know down in the comments below. Again, make sure to leave a subscribe, a thumbs up, and ring the bell while you're down there. But until the next video, be safe, have a good time, love each other, and be kind, all right? And we'll see you guys in the next video.